Hello, everyone. This is Leanne at the National Weather Service in Missoula. I'll be walking you through this week's planning briefing and the next several days worth of weather. Here's our threat matrix. You can see there's a low threat for all kinds of weather for most days, and then a moderate threat for thunderstorms and very heavy rainfall beginning Wednesday and Thursday. And this threat may actually increase as we go along throughout the week, but for right now, we're just looking at a moderate threat in those locations for thunderstorms and heavy rain Wednesday and Thursday. But as you can see, everywhere starts pretty much hot and dry with a slight chance for thunderstorms in north central Idaho and southwest Montana, and then it becomes less and less hot and dry and more thunderstormy and heavy rainy. So that's what we can expect going forward. Here's the key points. Hot and dry, like I said, to persist through Tuesday, and we'll start to see that moisture gradually moving northward from the desert southwest. Yes, the monsoon did decide to finally show up in some form, and we're going to see that impact the region this week. With that, the thunderstorm potential increases from south to north as those thunderstorms meander northward, and that's Tuesday through Thursday. And with the anomalously high amount of atmospheric moisture present during this time, we will also have a high threat for heavy rain potential, and that will increase dramatically through the week as well. Here's the temperature trend through the week. I have it split because the graphic was too big, so take a look, pause this if you need to kind of absorb it at your own rate. But you can see a lot of places really start out pretty hot for Monday and Tuesday, and then that gradually becomes less and less the case as we go through the week. Here's the humidity trends, and you can also see the minimum RH forecast trend on the right hand side. It's very dry with min RHs in the teens and 20s, and then that gradually increases as moisture infiltrates the region. And kind of the opposite, it's pretty dry with thermal belts present Monday and Tuesday, and then things really moisten up midweek through the weekend. And here's that excessive rainfall risk I was hinting at. For right now, this is the forecast for August 26th and 27th. These are 24-hour forecasts. So we'll start on the 26th on the left. The middle graphic is the 27th through the 28th. And then on the right, it's August 28th through the 29th. So essentially Tuesday through Friday, which is when we're expecting those monsoon thunderstorms to move northward. And granted, it's only a marginal threat, but that could increase through the week. And what does excessive rainfall risk mean? It means the risk of rainfall exceeding a flash flood guidance within 25 miles of a point in the shaded area. So, as the office hydrologist, I would be remiss to not add this and tell you about it since it is there and we have a lot of fires out there. We have a lot of recent burn scars and ongoing burn scars, and even older ones that respond to heavy rain and have responded to heavy rain in the past few weeks. So, this threat is definitely out there, and it's something to keep your eye on as we move forward through the week. Now, what's the catch? Isn't there always a catch? Well, there's marginal instability in the forecast currently, which would limit the severe thunderstorm supercell potential. And by that, I just mean organized convection, really strong thunderstorms with a lot of motion that can produce large hail and strong winds. And while the wind threat is there, especially Monday and Tuesday, we're not looking at a severe thunderstorm atmosphere at this time. The other thing is that wildfire smoke is pretty thick, especially in central Idaho. So anywhere that wildfire smoke is super thick and it limits visibility can also further limit heating and instability. But again, that's always in transit, so we have to watch where it goes and how thick it is. So we'll need to monitor this and see if it does inhibit any thunderstorm potential. But all of that being said, the storms that do form could be very slow moving. They're moving in through the ridge. There is no cold front to push them through the area. And that will make the threat for flash flood from heavy downpours even more prominent because there's nothing to get them in and out of the area. So they could sit over an area and just dump a lot of rain, and that would be really not ideal for areas that are prone to flash flooding. That's what we have for now. We will check back in later in the week. Thank you for joining.